Hello, ladies. My name is Black Val Venus. And let me tell you something, ladies. Y'all caught me in the middle of my last video titled Saving O'Brien's Privates. But ladies, I tell you something now. I'm about to release my new video entitled Sign Up. So ladies, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Always remember, tighten up. Damn, that Black Belt Venus Chris is the motherfucker. All right, guys. Welcome to Porch Talk Sports, guys. I'm your host, JP, y'all. Thank you for tuning in tonight, guys, and I really appreciate y'all support, y'all. Once again, shout out to Andrew Balls, Chris Nick for making this show possible, guys, and I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in tonight for my video tightened up. Yes, I mean the Tennessee Titans, not what Black Belt Venus meant. So, like I said, let's begin the video, guys. All right, guys, we're going to Tennessee Titans off-season subtractions. The main ones, they're the top three, are Marcus Mariota. They decided not to resign him because he didn't turn out to be the franchise quarterback that they thought he would be. He looked good for a couple seasons, y'all. I mean, he has lots of. He's a very fast athlete, a very good athlete. In terms of quarterback, it's just he never really set it into the system. Let's see how he does out there in Oakland. I think Mariota still has some promise left in his career. I think he just needs proper coaching. Also, key losses, man. Jarrell Casey getting traded. I believe I don't remember his name, but there is a defensive tackle that they drafted last year that had to recover from, I believe, ACL surgery, and he was out all year. And honestly, I like this tape. I forgot what his name is. I do apologize, guys, but they do have a rookie replacement for him. That should be pretty solid. So we'll see how that works out in terms of losing Jarrell Casey. The other big man that they lost was Jake Conklin, the right tackle from Michigan State. He was a high drafted pick, although my man J.J. Watt dominated pretty much every single year. He was a very solid offensive line for them, and they are going to miss that. They might have addressed the issue in the draft. Let's see, but I think Isaiah Wilson will be a solid one. We'll see in the future. Like I said, I'll talk about him later. There's the other one that is really puzzling to me is Logan Ryan. Logan Ryan was having one of the best seasons of his career, and they would let this man go for some reason. I don't understand why. It doesn't make sense to me. He was having one of the best years of his career, and they just released him out of nowhere for no reason. I guess it's because of money issues, or I'm guessing, but I mean, I just don't see why you would let go of a guy like that, especially after he's been so productive for you. Why would you not try to keep him, remove some of that Tannehill money? I think they gave Tannehill just a little bit too much money in that new contract. But like I said, hold on. I'll talk about Tannehill in a second. But I think they should have rearranged that money for Logan Ryan, too. And there's a couple little small names they got rid of. Tajay Sharp was someone they could afford to lose. I mean, he wasn't that great of a receiver anyway. There was also Dion Lewis. Dion Lewis was on his last legs. He kind of really lost that shiftiness they had back in New England. And Cameron Wake was just old. He was showing some rust, and he's showing that it's the end of his career, and it was time for him to go. And they have a good young pass rusher in Harold Landry out there. So I see good things for this team, especially on the offensive line. I think they replaced a lot of their guys, but they really did with youth movement on defense this offseason, and we'll see how that works out. The strength of that team last year was really that they could run the ball and they could rely on their defense. But their defense this year is a little bit more questionable, but not by much, just a little bit more questionable. All right, but that's it for subtractions, guys. Let's move on to the next. All right, guys, going to key off-season additions. Kiosk additions, there are not too many of them. Vic Beasley was going to be a good, solid replacement for Cameron Wake. I don't think he fit the system down there in Atlanta. I think he's going to do earn a better defensive mind than Mike Vrabel. Other additions that I see that they had to this team, they added Ty Sambrario. I do apologize. I always chopping that man's name. He's a solid offensive tackle. He's going to help them out on the offensive line, especially to bridge the gap between who they drafted and being the starter. So they'll be able to have a veteran presence for him. There's also the re-signing of Tannehill. Like I said, I believe they gave this man a little bit too much money after just having one really good season, but it is what it is. I don't think they necessarily completely overpaid, but I don't know, dude. Tannehill is a guy that I'm not too high on. He's a solid quarterback. He's just the solid man. I don't ever think he's gonna be that guy that's gonna win y'all that Super Bowl. Like, come on, dude. Like, who's gonna be like, let's win a Super Bowl with Tannehill, dude? Like, come on, man. Like, y'all be realistic. I know he's y'all's quarterback, but Tannehill is not good enough to win y'all Super Bowl. Let's be real on that one. Also, one of the more controversial ones, I would have re-signed Derrick Henry over Ryan Tannehill because he's way more important part of the team than Tannehill is. The fact that they decided to franchise him instead of re-signing Tannehill, instead of re-signing him, I think was a stupid move. To me, I would have re-signed Derrick Henry. I will probably, if Tannehill asked for too much money, I would honestly probably told him to walk. But I mean, this is how don't get me wrong. This is how much people think highly of quarterbacks in this league, and that's pretty much how the quarterback value is. It's gotten higher because just a quarterback is so important to win in this league. And re-signing Tannehill, I understand, was a very important issue, but I don't know. I would have tried my hand at somebody else. But it is what it is. Tannehill, is our guy, so we'll see how that works out in the future, y'all. I still think y'all should draft a quarterback in the coming years, but that's up to y'all. So, y'all, I'm going to move on to the next part of this video. Let's go on. All right, guys. Going to the Tennessee Titans' biggest weakness, y'all. The biggest weakness with this team right now has got to be the defensive line. They really didn't do much to address it this offseason. They got some late round guys that they wanted to try and add to the team, but they really didn't add much. The starters are the injured Jeffrey Simmons, which is the guy I was talking about, who was injured last year but is coming back this year. He should be a solid pass rusher for them, but you're talking about ACL injury, so you're talking about a guy that's probably not going to come back at 100%. Daquan Jones is very talented pass rusher, y'all. He's very dangerous in the middle, y'all. He's going to be, honestly, he can be a very strong future player, but we don't know. We don't know, guys. And Isaiah Mack. These guys, there's too many questions about them. A lot of experience here. That's a part of the team I really wouldn't trust right now. Every other part of the team seems to be pretty decently solid, but that part in particular, I think teams are going to take advantage of the defensive line. So, yeah, man, I think they need to really improve that in the next offseason and the years to come, yo. All right, let's go to team's biggest strengths. And honestly, this team has a lot of strengths. Honestly, man, they're solid actually at the wide receiver position. I love AJ Brown. I don't think they give Corey Davis enough go for his money. I think he's a very talented receiver. I just think they need to throw the ball a little more. Honestly, wide receiver is pretty strong for them. Running backs is probably their strongest position with Derrick Henry and the guy they drafted out of Appalachian State, Darrington Evans. My gosh, guys, this is the guy that y'all going to hear about in the future. And it's great for the Titans because they did give themselves some leverage in terms of renegotiation for Derrick Henry's contract. Because if y'all don't know, Derrick Henry is franchise tag this year, and having a guy like Darrington Evans who can push him a little bit more and possibly say, you know what, we can move on from Derrick Henry, definitely gives the Titans some leverage. So let's see how good this young man is. That could also be a very good strength for them. Honestly, another team strength for them. It actually might be their secondary, man. Um, I actually relooked at it, guys. That was my fault earlier. They have Kevin Byard, they have Kenny Vaccaro back there. They also have Adoree Jackson, Malcolm Butler, and they drafted the young kid out of LSU, Christian Fulton. Christian Fulton is going to be a solid player in the NFL, y'all. That's why I think they wanted to move from Logan Ryan. Maybe I really just thought about that, guys, from earlier part of my video. But I would say that them adding Christian Fulton is definitely like a good replacement because with Adoree Jackson on one side and Malcolm Butler on the other, they can give him some time to develop and become a starter. I would probably say that he probably takes over Adoree Jackson's spot because Adoree is more of a slot kind of guy. He's more suited to guard slot kind of guys because Adoree Jackson is really the speedster. He does a lot of the punt return and kickoff return shit over there. So that is something. Those are a couple of positions where they're strong at. Linebackers too. Linebackers are solid as well. I like Harold Landry, of course. My bad. And the spot that is, I mean, it's still questionable, but it's still kind of a strength. I mean, it's the offensive line. Honestly, the offensive line is pretty good too. Ben Jones, they still have Roger Saffold, they still have Nate Davis. So I've looked at their offensive line. Their offensive line is going to be solid for the future. So those are y'all's two strengths. I will say that you have a lot more strengths than y'all do have weaknesses. All right, guys, moving on to the Titans draft class, y'all. And y'all actually had probably one of the better drafts, I would say, in the NFL. Y'all filled up pretty much every need that y'all pretty much had. The first round, you picked Isaiah Wilson, offensive tackle out of Georgia. This guy is absolutely massive, dude. He's 6'6", 353 pounds, man. And I honestly, I think he is great on the right side of the offensive line. He can play right or left tackle, which one he feels comfortable with. I mean, that's good. They can swing him over to either side. I think he's going to be a very solid player for you guys. The next one is, of course, Christian Fulton out of LSU. He's a tall, long-legged quarterback. He has good speed, y'all. He has some inconsistent field, but I think it's something that can be coached up. I think he just needs to be, a little more loose in his hips. There's training that you can do for that, and I think he will end up being their starter eventually before the season's up. Next, you have Darrington Evans, the running back at Appalachian State. I referred to him probably a little bit earlier. He's going to be a very good one. He is a very shifty back. He's not the biggest guy. I believe he's only 5'10", about 205. But he's shown some signs. If I had to give him a NFL comparison, I would give him a healthy Lamar Miller. Of course, as a Texas fans, I know what those days were like. Unfortunately, he's not with us anymore. But I would say that Darren Evans is someone that can still push for that push for playing time. Definitely with Derrick Henry, it's going to help out Derrick Henry a lot in terms of getting some rest time, so you're not just over bruising him the whole season and you don't have to worry about injury too much. You know what I'm saying? Because Derrick Henry is the biggest part of their offense, and the running game is actually the biggest part of their offense. Adding him as a second element is only going to make their running game that much more lethal. And honestly, I would say this is going to be very lethal and hard to stop this upcoming season. With that offensive line, they have some mass up there, dude. They're going to be able to mash some super people. So I question the offensive line kind of because of the rookie, but like I said, if they can get him up to speed quickly, then they should be able to mash on some people in the running game, y'all. The other draft picks, they drafted Cole McDonald. He should be a solid backup. I'm not too high on that one. It's whatever out of Hawaii. They added Chris Jackson, DB out of Marshall in the 7th round, and Larrell Mortensen. It's the defensive tackle out of NC State. He is probably a filling guy, just to take over for Jarrell Casey. Let's see how good he is. He has solid size too. I believe he's about 3'10", about 6'4". So he should be. He seems like I've seen some tape of him. He seems like he could be a solid pass rusher for them in the future. So let's see about that, guys. Like I said, those top three picks should be really good, instant starters. But last three is just those are your development guys, and let's see how they come along. All right, guys, everybody's favorite part of the season schedule breakdown, guys. I'm gonna go game by game for the Tennessee Titans, and this is probably one that y'all we'll see how y'all feel about these wins and losses. So I'm going to start off the season. Y'all are facing the Denver Broncos at home. I'm giving y'all a loss on that one. I just think at Denver, I know Drew Lock's still young, but that defense over there is still beastly. They still have a whole bunch of guys. Bradley Chubb, Von Miller. I see them really getting after it, especially taking advantage of the right tackle spot that you'll drafted rookie Isaiah Wilson. So I see them like switching sides, and he's going to probably struggle that first game. And also just the additions of KJ Hamler over there, and you also have to remember they also got Melvin Gordon over there, guys. And Denver has a decent offensive line, so I don't think your defense is going to really like hold them back too much. I actually think Drew Lock will actually have a solid season in his second year. I actually like Denver in that one. So I'm picking them for the win in that one. Next week, I have y'all's first win of the season versus Jacksonville. This is a home game. Jacksonville, they're still looking for their identity. It's a young team. I got y'all with the win on that one, of course. Week 3 versus at Minnesota. I actually got y'all with the dub on this one. I just don't think highly of Kirk Cousins. He should not have gotten paid that money, dude. He does not deserve. He really does not deserve that. Honestly, I don't think he's that good of a quarterback. I really question his skills and leadership. I think y'all take advantage of that on defense, and y'all get the dub on that one. Next week, home versus Pittsburgh. I went back and forth on this one a little bit, but I gave y'all the loss here, man. I'm sorry. I just personally think that with the addition of Chase Claypool, that's a big wide receiver that is going to be phenomenal his first year. Juju, James Conner, they added Derek Watt to the running game. So I'm going to give y'all the L on that one. I just think they're going to be too much for you guys. I think y'all are going to struggle there. So next week, y'all going to be happy. Y'all face the Buffalo Bills. Y'all are getting the dub on this one, which would bring your season record right now to 3-2, which isn't bad to start out. Guys, I think Buffalo is still very young, too, as well. Granted, they're adding Stephon Diggs. They also added Zach Moss over there as another backup running back, so also remember that too. That's going to be a very dangerous team, Buffalo, this year. I'm giving y'all the win in that one, like I said. I think y'all edge it out. That's going to be a close game, though. Y'all edge it out. Another close game, and unfortunately, I do have to admit, y'all are going to be at home for this one. Y'all are facing my Houston Texans. I'm giving y'all the win here. Knowing Bill O'Brien, he's going to fuck it up some way. We're going to lose at least one division game this year. That is definitely going to be one, I would say, mark your calendar for that one for us to lose. It's just at Tennessee, last couple of seasons, we haven't played too well over there. So, Titans fans, I'm going to give you the win versus Houston in that one. Then y'all keep rolling. Next week, y'all going to be at Cincinnati. They have just too many young parts, too much of inexperience. Yeah, it's week 7, but they're not going to be able to still get it together, especially with the shortened off season. So at Cincinnati, I give y'all the dub. So that gives y'all 3 wins in a row. Next week versus Chicago. I actually have y'all winning that game too. The quarterback position over there is a mess. I don't trust Nick Foles outside of Philly. Let's see if Matt Nagy can make Nick Foles back into that quarterback. I see in no way, shape, or form that Mitchell Trubisky is going to be starting the quarterback this season for the Bears. I'll get that into my Bears video coming up. I don't know which day I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it sometime soon. So I have y'all with the win at Chicago, so that gets y'all 4 wins in a row. Then home versus Indy. I actually gave y'all the win on this one too. At home versus Indy, I think that's going to go in y'all's favor. I think that even though Jonathan Taylor is going to be a beast this rookie season, along with Marlon Mack, that team is going to be very tough to beat. I personally just don't see Philip Rivers his last couple seasons. He's very turnover prone. So I don't think that addition is really going to make a difference for Indianapolis. So I give y'all the win, and that actually gives y'all 5 wins in a row to start the season. So with that 5-game winning streak and the 2 wins earlier, you are at 7-2. Actually, at this point in the season. But y'all come back down to earth next week at Baltimore. But I mean, y'all, I know y'all beat them last year. Yeah, that was the biggest win of the season for you guys. Y'all shut them down in the playoffs, man. I was even shocked that y'all actually won that game too, and actually very handled fashion. But 2 times in a row, I don't see it happening. I think Lamar Jackson learned some of the mistakes he did in that game, and he comes back with a better with a better better performance this time. You know what I'm saying? Next week at Indianapolis, I have y'all splitting season series with these guys. So y'all will take the loss on this one. Earlier, like I said, y'all had to win because y'all were at home. This time you're at Indy. Y'all get edged out barely. So I will give y'all the loss in that one. Sorry, guys. I see y'all splitting the season with at least 2 of the division opponents, Houston and Indy. Jacksonville, I think, of course, everybody's going to dominate their ass. Next week, you're going to be at home for Cleveland. I give y'all the win in this one. I'm sorry, Baker Mayfield's going to just have to prove that he is an NFL caliber quarterback. He hasn't proven that to me yet. It's just, I mean, the Browns, they have talent, but they never seem to ever find a coach. Let me see if this new guy, Stefanski or whatever his name is, gets the job done. But I give you all the win in that one. Next week at Jacksonville. I give you all the win, of course. I think y'all dominate this year, like I said. Jacksonville is we'll give y'all probably a solid run at this point because I think they might improve as the season gets along. But I got you with the dub on that one. Titans fans, next week y'all are facing Detroit. This is a to be announced game. I think this is on the week like before Christmas and all that. So y'all schedule my change on this one. Versus Detroit, I have y'all with the win on this one. I'm not high on Detroit. They got rid of a lot of guys, especially on their defensive line this offseason, and I don't know what they're going to do to replace it. So I just see y'all running through them. Like, honestly, I think that's going to be an ass whooping, personally to me. Then next week, you're going to be at Green Bay. I'll give y'all the loss on this one. Yeah, you're facing your former offensive coordinator, but I think that for that reason, Vrabel outsmarts. I forgot what the Green Bay coach's name is. I do apologize, guys. I think y'all outsmart that coach, and I think y'all get the. I think y'all get outsmarted by that. Y'all's former offensive coordinator. I don't think Vrabel's gonna. Actually, my bad. I did give y'all the L on this one. Yes, I did give y'all the L. Versus at Green Bay, y'all get the L on this one, guys. Just I just don't see it happening. Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I think honestly, y'all might get a little bit beat up in that game. And finally, to end the season at Houston. All right, guys. So I'll give y'all the loss in this one. Personally, to me. Y'all will not beat Houston twice in the season. That doesn't happen in God knows how long. It ain't going to happen this year. Deshaun Watson is going to have one of the best seasons of his career. Especially that game is going to be hella close. I will say that too. It's probably going to be for the division title. But with that, your season win total is 10-6. Y'all can live with that. 10-6. I give y'all that. Let me get to my final thoughts and my playoffs. Let's start the next vid, guys. All right, so playoffs. Yes, y'all make the playoffs, of course. If I gave the Patriots a 9-7 and they made the playoffs, y'all of course get into the playoffs as well. How highly seeded that is, because there's gonna be a lot of 10-6 teams, guys. You also have to remember we have an expanded playoff this year. There are 7 teams, not 6 teams this year. So the first 6 teams get the first week to play. It's gonna be a lot harder to determine who's gonna move on and how far people are gonna go. Um, I see y'all making it to the second round, and honestly, I think in the second round y'all will face us, the Houston Texans, and I believe that y'all will lose in the second round of the playoffs. Um, y'all just won't quite get it there. Yes, I'll explain my Houston bet on my next vid, but guys, yeah, I think this is. I think that's gonna be a solid season as y'all can ask for. I think Tannehill, for the most part, this season is gonna be kind of up and downish. I don't think he's gonna be quite as good as y'all think he is from last year. I think what it is that the league needs to adjust to Ryan Tannehill and that offense and everything, and that's what it comes down to, guys. So those are my final thoughts, and y'all, that's my personal feeling. I think Tennessee is gonna have a solid season, but it's just I don't see them getting too far, man. That's me personally, guys. So, y'all, like I said, thank y'all as always for tuning in. Y'all, I ask y'all to please subscribe to my channel, guys. Please subscribe to Porch Talk, guys. Once again, thank you to Andrew Balls, Kristen Hickey, guys. I thank y'all for always supporting me, guys, and thank y'all for always checking in. These guys really care about Porch Talk, y'all. So, like I said, follow link, subscribe, guys, and y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in today. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate y'all. I really like the feedback that I'm getting. Tell me more, guys. If I suck at this, let me know. I mean, I could handle it, dude. Honestly, I could handle it. All right, I could handle it. See y'all later. All right, guys. Y'all be easy. All right.